As always, hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. Rich is making another video about XRP today, so wherever you are in this vast planet, I hope you're all having a nice day today. I won't even begin to discuss XRP before we do. I must congratulate everyone for reaching October. Everyone anticipates that this month will see some very significant events. As everyone knows, the ETFs could launch at any time. In addition, the alt season is anticipated to begin this month. That is what everyone expects to occur. We'll see how it turns out. You can reach the finish line though if you've come this far and take a look at XRP, which is currently trading at $2.86 on the one-day chart. Everyone is waiting for the escape to start. Everyone is anticipating that XRP will rise above $3 once more. Right now it's holding up rather nicely. Furthermore, Bitcoin is still trading above 114k. All I want is for Bitcoin to make its final upward climb before collapsing. And cryptocurrency searches on Google suddenly skyrocketed. FOMO in retail is awakening. Alt season has arrived. The alt season has not yet begun. I believe that because everyone is aware that alt season is approaching, they are now preparing for it. However, it's encouraging to see that occurring when people are looking for cryptocurrencies. At last, people are beginning to see beyond Bitcoin. And we haven't arrived yet, as you can see from the altcoin chart. We actually dropped a few. Now there are just 57 left. We must surpass 75. After that, alt season will formally begin. We are still in the Bitcoin season till then. And Dark Defender is the source of this. Yesterday, XRP closed a weekly candle in the weekly time frame. On February 13th, we discussed the fourth and fifth white waves in our monthly framework. The fourth wave has finished. The fifth wave is underway. Double digits may still be reached by this wave. I am aware that everyone is pessimistic. I am aware that tomorrow is a shutdown day for the US government. I noticed the unfinished maneuvers and the impending momentum though. Am I really so ambitious? We'll find out in time. And it appears that he is predicting the next upward push. However, no one can predict how high that candle would rise. Many individuals tell me that they should budget between $6 and $8. According to some, the first candle will probably rise above $15 before we slightly decline again, and then see the following push up, but no one is sure where that will go yet. It is too soon to predict what will happen to XRP's price. We must wait for the ETFs to launch and observe the amount of capital that flows into them. Analyst Coach JV predicts that XRP will experience a swift, unanticipated, and merciless moment. I also concur with that. I keep telling you that when it does happen, it will happen quickly. Anybody who is still waiting to buy XRP will be paying premium prices for it when it moves violently to the upside. According to him, XRP's moment will come quickly, unexpectedly, and without mercy. The most disciplined people, not those who are attempting to timing the market, but those who have learned patience will win, not the smartest people. You need to be mentally, physically, and spiritually prepared because it's too late to prepare once it moves. You've spent the entire time getting ready for that, the start of that breakthrough moment. And it's really close. There are rumors that the US government will shut down while the US Treasury is modernizing its payment systems. It's a little odd that that falls within this time frame. I too saw that, but a government shutdown doesn't seem promising for cryptocurrency. I believe that the cryptocurrency market may see a decline before abruptly rising again. We must observe what would truly occur. However, I continue to believe that the US government will not be shut down. And it might endure for a day if they do. After everyone receives what they desire, things resume as usual. From here, let's see where we go. However, it is a big step to modernize payments to and from America's bank account. That is a finance system improvement. And it appears that all of the authority is going from the Fed to the Treasury, even during Janet Yellen's tenure as treasurer. I kept repeating, look at their shifting power. Eleanor Tourette is the reason I believe the digital dollar will soon be a valuable asset again. More background for anyone who are wondering if withdrawal is a bad thing. The short answer is no. The lengthy response after the generic listing rules were approved by the SEC governor. It streamlined and expedited the procedure 2 weeks ago by removing the requirement for exchanges to submit 19B4 forms in order to list individual token ETFs. The change indicates that the new procedure is operating as planned. With only an S1 file, the SEC can approve a crypto ETF at any time, provided the tokens satisfy the current requirements. Therefore, the SEC government might theoretically decide on any or all of these at any time, even while deadlines for these specific ETFs are approaching. That announcement could be made at any moment. The ETFs may launch at any time. They won't put a date on it, I always said. Since then everyone will just invest the day before. This always appears suddenly. Everyone claims that there is no need for an XRP ETF, but suddenly XRP is taking off. Listen to this out. Yes. As I mentioned earlier, we did have that Bitcoin experience. We are professionals in derivatives and have applied for a Bitcoin ETF. Therefore, there is currently a waiting period for those who are anticipating the physical XRP, as well as funds that are able to retain the XRP tokens. Therefore, there is a great desire among investors to gain price exposure to XRP. And since we work with derivatives, we were aware that both Coinbase and the CME had launched XRP futures. They planned to come out, but other people filed simultaneously. Everyone is observing and waiting. How can we get ahead of this? We asked. You must be the first. I like derivatives. I've spent my entire life doing it. You want to be #1 all the time. After everyone has hopped on board and taken notice, you don't want to join in. He claimed that XRP is in high demand. Everyone is constantly talking up the Ethereum and Bitcoin ETFs, as I have been saying all along. And I consistently predicted that XRP would be the biggest surprise. This coin is always in high demand. And the demand will soar if the institution starts to join on board and the pricing changes immediately. David Schwartz is also resigning. I've been reflecting on the past 40 years, like everyone does. It's been quite the journey. I've gone from working as an NSA consultant to observing the early phases of Bitcoin. After that, I worked on coding the XRP ledger with Arthur, Jed, and Chris. I have now worked at Ripple for over 13 years. The extent of my gratitude to this organization, its employees, and the community surrounding the XRP ledger is beyond words. Second only to my incredible family, it has been one of the greatest honors and experiences of my life. By the end of this year, it will be time for me to take a break from my daily responsibilities as Ripple CTO. I'm eager to return to my designated activities and spend more time with my children and grandchildren. Be advised, nevertheless, that I will remain active in the XRP community. I'm still here and will always be here. Additionally, he is joining the Ripple board. In other words, he is effectively taking over as Brad Garlinghouse's employer. However, given that David is resigning, it's possible that his work on XRP is finished. Perhaps widespread acceptance is on the horizon. Everyone claims that David is also Satoshi. You know. Everyone who has ever invested in XRP has claimed that when someone asks me who David Schwartz is, I tell them that he is Satoshi. This is true even if you have just been in this market for 5 minutes. Brad Garlinghouse also bid him farewell. Probably the smartest and funniest guy I've ever met, this crypto pioneer has the conviction and foresight to see what others can't. You are legendary. I appreciate all that you have done for the industry, for Ripple, and for the XRP ledger, David. We will always be appreciative and amazed by your enormous influence. Though I'm happy you won't be far away as you join the Ripple board. I'm not removing our weekly check-ins off the calendar. Keep sharing your extensive knowledge of crypto and offering advice on our projects. Hold on, do you now have authority over me? In a sense, he is the employer of Brad Garlinghouse. However, David explained his resignation to you. He wants to spend time with his family and do the things he loves to do. Additionally, Monica bid him farewell. So that everyone can read it for themselves, I'll just leave this on the screen. But without David Schwartz, we wouldn't even have cryptocurrency. Do you recall the patent from 1988? That was approved in 1991, which led us to where we are now as cryptocurrency investors. I'm sure David will continue to be all over X, correcting the Bitcoin maxes whenever they fund on XRP, but the FUD already arrived because of the BitLord alert when it was time to sell XRP. One is that the CTO is leaving to look into XRP's other applications.